Hey, what is going on, guys? This is Matt from the Thethreemusketeers, and I have a little bit of a conquest on Grand Bazaar for you guys. In my last video, I was talking about how I've been trying to widen my play style on Battlefield and play some different game modes and stuff, and in that video I was playing Conquest on Operation Metro using the P90, and I was talking about how by trying to improve my play style and vary my play style, I feel like I'm getting more out of the game now. I didn't used to like playing Operation Metro at all, but especially on Rush, but now playing it in Conquest Assault, I think it is, I've been enjoying it quite a lot, so I thought I'd bring you some more videos of me playing Conquest. Now this game is on Grand Bazaar, which is already one of my more favourite maps on Rush anyway, and for the reason that you can get behind the enemy team quite well, try and flank behind them, and since I've started playing Conquest, I've found it's even easier to do on Conquest. And it's something I thought I might talk about in this video. My fellow commentator on the channel, Damo, in his first commentary, was talking about what his play style is and what he labels himself as. And Damo is he's an aggressive rusher, you know, pushing up and trying to not hanging around and trying to take them out. So that made me, you know, led me on to think about, well, what kind of play style would I class myself as? And this gameplay here, I thought showed quite well my style of play. I call myself, if I was going to label any kind of name, maybe aggressive flanking, I don't know, aggressive flanker. That could sound quite dodgy if said wrong. But yeah, aggressive flanking is a style of play I try to go for, instead of taking the enemy on head on, you know, trying to get round the side of them. And this is just one game. I've cut this down to the more interesting parts. There's a lot of running involved in this game, trying to run backwards and forwards, so I've cut those boring bits out. But as you can see here, they originally had A, and I'm constantly coming around the back of them. Instead of coming down the alleyway where the rest of my squad would come in, I was running all the way around the back of the street and coming up behind them there, as you saw in that first clip. And now they've taken B, and they're trying to head towards C, trying to get down behind them again now, down this alleyway. Now, as outflanking goes, I actually think Grand Bazaar is probably the best example on the game, or maybe even the best map for outflanking, or the easiest map for outflanking. The map itself is essentially made up of two squares. You've got the square at this end and the market at the other, and they are both connected by three streets. You have the road to my left, the alleyway in the centre where I am now, and then the road to the right. Which means this map it has a lot of variables and a lot of different variations of routes you can take to get round the enemy, and it's very rarely, if at all possible, especially on console with only 12 players aside, that the enemy can control all three streets at once. So it means you have options, always safe options and easy options to try and get round the back of the enemy. In my last video, I did say I would try and get some PP19 footage out. At the start of this video, I was using the M4A1, as you saw there, on the more long-range sections. And now I'm working this alleyway. I whipped out the PP19. Now, this weapon I've only just unlocked recently, as I've started to play Conquest more, because obviously you had to play, I think, 2 hours of Back to Karkin, which I'd done. But I had to capture 10 flags, which was something I hadn't done. But now I've started playing a lot more. I've unlocked it recently. And as I said in my last video, this gun for me feels very similar to the P90. It fires at 900 rounds per minute. It is a close-range weapon and has a 50-round magazine. But I've only just unlocked the... I think I unlocked the suppressor in this game, actually, and I've unlocked that red dot sight at the moment. And I am quite pleased with it. It is a very powerful weapon at close range. I'm surprised more people don't use it, actually. I'd much prefer this weapon to be overused than the USAS and with the frag rounds. Now, like I said at the start, I think I much prefer Conquest Assault to large games of Conquest. I am still not keen on Conquest on maps such as Strike at Karkin. They are very vehicle-based, and I'm not a very vehicle-based player myself. Now, one of the reasons I originally disliked Conquest is because I wasn't keen on not knowing where the enemy would come from. Obviously, if you had all three flags, or the enemy had all three flags, the enemy could be coming from any direction sometimes, and I found that a bit disconcerting. I wasn't pleased with that. Whilst on Rush, obviously the enemy come from, you know, straight ahead most of the time if they're not camping, and you know it's much more the game's much more readable. Now that gets me onto a tactic that I use when playing Conquest Assault, which dates back for me all the way back to the days of Call of Duty 4, and that is when playing these flag-based games, to try and let the enemy always keep one flag, because if you keep hold of two, you'll still win the game, but it means you know where the enemy is spawning. They can only be spawning in one of two locations. If you capture the objective, then all of a sudden they're spawning further away from where you are. They're spawning back in their spawn point. So I always try and let the enemy keep one of the flags so you know you can keep an eye on where they are and keep things under control. It also keeps the game moving at a fast pace. If they fall back to their original spawn point, it kind of slows the pace of the game down a little bit. Anyway guys, that's another short conquest video for you there. I hope you enjoyed it. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you soon.